Hello, Canadian Fuhrer. How are you? Howdy, howdy, howdy. You can take your racist fucking username out of here. See you later. Anybody else? Anybody else want to have a dumbass fucking racist meme for a username? Guten Morgen. Layla, yeah. Layla, doo-doo-doo. Rock me on my knees, Layla, doo-doo-doo. I'm begging, honey, please, no, Layla. Buongiorno. Buongiorno. Oh. Love you in Morningwood, Paul. All right, thanks. Be right back. Well. Hello. We do live in a society, don't we? Way I'm seeing it, Paul, your beard is a serious misallocation of valuable capillium resources. That hair could be used to warm a freezing homeless kid in Iceland. You're right. You're right. Thanks, Tucker. My hair color's hard to figure out. Yeah, I don't blame you. Best of luck trying to paint me. Knit a starving cold child in Iceland a hat out of Paul's beard, or like a warm pair of Bernie mittens. Think about a warm pair of Bernie mittens made with my beard hair and how fucking comfortable and warm those would be. Full-blown Bernie mittens that make you want to fold your hands like this. Aren't Bernie's mittens racist for some reason? I don't think so. How could a pair of fucking mittens be racist? I didn't hear about this shit. Curious little fruit fly that keeps landing on me. I used to just kill insects like that, but I'm letting them be now. Well, I mean, if you got a fruit fly and you're in your house, you might want to kill it. I'm not sure. I didn't care enough to read the article. That's ridiculous. They'd probably be really scratchy. What if you put the beard hair on the outside for the warmth factor, and then you used this soft hair for the inside for the comfort factor? Now there's an idea. It'd be like shearing a sheep that smelled like weed. Yeah, it would. It would indeed be that. Okay, apparently the mittens are white and male privilege because women would never have gotten away with dressing down for the inauguration. Oh, got it. Well, that is problematic. You know, fucking break. I don't even think Bernie was all that dressed down. It was a cold day and he had a big coat and a pair of warm mittens on. What's he supposed to do? Sit out there and freeze? He's an old man. Let Bernie be fucking comfy, you goddamn ID poll motherfuckers. Fuck, man. Poor Bernie. Poor Bernie deserves a little bit of fucking comfort in his life. Every once in a blue fucking moon, man. Let the guy be comfy. Be a dick about it. Did he have a hat? No, he didn't have a hat. But he should have had a hat. Yeah, he was in a suit, but he just had a coat and some mittens over it. Nobody's gonna give no old lady grief. I bet Diane Feinstein, if she'd have showed up, she's fucking 90 something. She'd have showed up, she'd have been all fucking bundled up too. Old people get cold. Did you see that bitch wearing mittens? No. The day Bernie dies will be one of the saddest days of my life, as pathetic as that may sound. I mean, it's going to be a sad day, but come on. He's an old dude. You gotta have to get over it. You have to remember the comfiness as it was. The day Ringo Starr dies will be your saddest day. Peace and love, peace and love. Hello, this is Ringo. I'm writing to you with peace and love to let you know that after May 5th, no fan mail will be opened. No letters will be read. I say this to you with peace and love. No more letters. Paul will love forever. What? Good thing you retracted that, because that was a nothing burger of a message. What is Cinco de Mayo? Like, what does the holiday celebrate? The 5th of May, yo. It's Mexican Independence Day. Cinco de Mayo is like the 4th of July for Mexico. Right? The date is observed to commemorate the Mexican Army's victory over the French Empire at the Battle of Puebla, May 5th, 1862. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. I know it's celebrated not as like the celebration of a battle, but as like a Mexican independence kind of day. At least here. Yeah, September 16th, Mexicans don't party on, though. Or at least, the ones that I grew up around. Today's the day in which they party. So it's September 16th. Really? Mexican Independence Day? Yeah, it's an excuse to eat tacos and get blasted drunk. Like, what is fucking the 4th of July? Excuse to eat brats and fucking hamburgers and get drunk as fuck and watch fireworks. Like, Tequila. 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 That's a good song, man. I love that song. That song's an eternal banger, dude. Tequila. I love it, man. It's just sometimes songs can be so simple. That's something that I need to remember, I think, as I'm working on Beauregard's tracks. In fact, it's something that I've wanted to do with a Beauregard track. And I've got one of Marshall's beats that I'm kind of writing like that for. Like maybe not as simple as a one-word song, but stripping it down to like some dirty beat-based trap where it's just like 100 on my wrist, 80 on my wrist, that level of input, rather than trying to come up with these complex rhymes and shit. Lowrider's another banger like that, yeah. I just love that about music. I love that music can be as complex as, the Flaming Lips Zyreka album, which most people can't even fucking listen to properly because it requires like a 21-to-1 sound system to hear it properly in the way that they want you to fucking hear it. So it can be as complex as the entire album of Zyreka, or it can be as simple as Tequila, or The Bird is the Word, Well, everybody's heard about the bird, bird. Bird is the word, well, a bird, well, a bird is a word, well, a bird, bird's a word, well, a bird, well, a bird is a word, well, a bird, bird's a word, well, don't you know about the bird? Well, everybody knows that the bird is the word, that the bird, bird's the word, with the bird. Well, everybody's heard about the bird. Bird is the bird. Yeah. Wipeout. Yeah, dude. I mean, Wipeout's not that simple of a song. But lyrically it is, That's the point. Wipeout. Simple songs, gotta love it. What is this? A sandlock, sound, whatever. Fuck you. Get out of here. Actually, not so easy a riff to play. Well, that's because the music itself in all of these songs that we're mentioning is pretty complex and interesting. But the lyrical content is very structural, and it's not meant to outshine the music. but to augment it a little bit. And that's kind of what I want to do with one of these beats that I'm working on with Marshall. Strip the shit down and just make it real fucking nihilistic. You have a new one for me? Oh shit, Marshall. I already got 2 in the bank. Send it on though. I love to listen to it. Sampled a Russian choir. Cool. Hey. You gotta make a new dance, and then the kids will do it in their TikToks. Yeah. The ego dance. Was that one already taken? G-Wagon, 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 about to boat it up. Got a flash fried to do today. It's gonna be a special no TJ flash fried as well. Wonder what happens if asbestos fingers someone. They get like asbestos poisoning or whatever. They get cancer. They get cancer. Coolman, hit fuck Marshall up in private, please. I don't like these conversations and shit. DM him. He'll share everything with you. I just don't think that the rest of the world wants to hear. Why ain't TJ gonna be there? TJ is on vacay. TJ is out of state, and so thus TJ will not be joining us for the show. Oh boy, no TJ. Yeah, TJ's in Mexico watching The Donkey Show. That's exactly right. You nailed it. imagine TJ sitting on an elephant in India, yeah, fanning himself with a big elaborate fucking horsehair fan. He would look like fucking Marlon Brando in that fucking Island of Dr. Moreau movie. Being born on a litter. OT gay. OT gay. OT gay. 3 gay. Ooh, I need to get some coffee. I'll be right back. There we go. Can I stream this stream on Reddit? Huh? Fuck you even talking about, bro? I haven't even taken my ring in to get it resized. It's not super high on my fucking list of priorities. See, there's my to-do list. Number 1, wake up, done. Number 2, drink coffee, about to. Number 3, pooped. I already did that one. Number 4, be awesome. I'm doing that all the time. That's really, that's my list daily, all right? Resized ring is on there if one of these other things doesn't need to happen. Oh, thank you, Asbestos Fingers. So what's on chat's mind today? What are you guys thinking about? What do you got stuck in your craw? Have we seen Tenet yet? We want to talk about Tenet? Has anybody seen this movie yet? It is very Christopher Nolan, if you're a fan. Very Christopher Nolan indeed. Watched Tenet last night with Amelia. And I don't know, I was pleasantly surprised by it. I mean, for a time Me and Amelia have this term for time movies, time travel movies. We call it the time wibble, which is because it never really make. I would recommend, yeah, for sure, especially if you like Nolan's other stuff. It's very reminiscent in a lot of ways of fucking what you call it, Inception. If you're a fan of that movie, it's definitely a movie that you have to pay attention to very kind of closely if you want to understand exactly what's going on. The audio in Tenet was mixed poorly. I agree with that. The music was way higher in the mix than it should have been, and the dialogue was lower in the mix than it should have been. So I have to agree with that. I had trouble hearing it. I've got a little, 2.1 soundbar subwoofer. I shouldn't have had trouble hearing the movie or have to keep fucking jockeying the volume. David Pattinson was great in it. I agree. I like that guy so much better now that he's not Sparkle Vampire Boy, and I'm happy to see him. I'm not even sure who the lead character's name is, but he was fantastic as well. The movie's pretty good. Conceptually speaking, it's cool. Well, that's what I'm saying, man. Yeah, Robert Pattinson. All-star cast, yeah. One of the best villains I've seen in a long fucking time, played by none other than the inimitable, the one, the only, Kenneth Branagh. And he's great in it. He's fucking amazing in it. I think Pattinson went through the same change that DiCaprio did. Wrong. Leonardo DiCaprio didn't start off cringe, bro. Leonardo DiCaprio's first major movie role won him an Oscar. Don't get it twisted. What's Eating Gilbert Grape was Leo at fucking 14, 15 winning an Oscar for his performance of a mentally retarded kid. Then he went on to do the Basketball Diaries, which is another amazing fucking film. So Leonardo DiCaprio didn't go through the cringe to cool transition. He started badass and just remains there. Well, the movie won a fucking Oscar, is what I'm saying. What's Eating Gilbert Grape won an Oscar. I didn't mean to say that he got an Oscar for it. I'm just saying the performance in the movie that was named after his character won an Oscar for Best Picture that year. What's a bad Leo film? I mean, I guess you could say like Titanic's not all that great in retrospect. He's not all that great in it. Right. Johnny Depp played Gilbert. He played Gilbert's son. Or Gilbert's brother or whatever. So you're right. You're right about that. It's been a long time since I've seen What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Titanic has amazing special effects, though. It does. Thoughts on Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka? That sums it up. Yeah, don't get it twisted. Leonardo DiCaprio's been a baller since Jump. His first role was in Critters 3. I mean, all right, fair enough. His first role in a real movie that was actually like aimed at fucking being an actual movie and not just a cash in. I don't think Critters 3 is Leonardo DiCaprio's start in Hollywood. The role that broke Robert Pattinson onto the scene was Twilight. The role that broke fucking Leonardo DiCaprio onto the scene was What's Eating Gilbert Grape, and probably the Basketball Diaries in tandem with that. So many people haven't seen the Basketball Diaries too. If you haven't seen the Basketball Diaries, please go watch it. It's not a movie about basketball. It's not a boring sporto movie. Please go watch it if you've never seen that movie. It's so fucking good. Where can you find it? It's a fucking movie, bro. I don't know. it's a popular movie. You'll have to find it, you know. Yeah, he was in Romeo and Juliet, which is, you know, like it was really, really popular when I was in high school. And if you watch the movie, it's beautifully conceived. It's not a bad update to Romeo and Juliet. He did a fine job. He and Claire Danes were pretty good as the titular characters. Is Basketball Diaries a romance film? No. It's a movie. It's a movie about a group of teenagers in New York who run the streets basically and get into all kinds of fucking trouble together, and kind of like how they succumb to drugs and violence and shit. It's a good movie. It's on Prime Video for anybody else who wanted to know. There you go. It's actually an autobiographical movie about a guy named Jim Carroll, who's like a punk artist, poet, and a punk band artist from New York City. It's kind of his early life story. Well, there are other ways for you to fucking get it than to go through Prime Video. Trust me. We need not mention them, but there are ways. I'm sure you can probably order it and pay for it on Hulu and shit like that too if you want to rent it. There are ways around. Trust me. Dude, a plague on both your houses. That could be the no confidence campaign slogan, dude. Dude, I like that. I'm going to steal it from you. In fact, I'm going to steal it from you and tweet it right now. Stolen. I'm getting that tattooed on your face. Face tat time. Paul, my wife, and I try and live a homesteading lifestyle by raising chickens, growing food, making our own toiletries, etc. Is this something you and your significant other see yourself doing? If we can find a place, like right now, I don't own a place. So in order to do all of that type of shit, you've got to own a plot of land, right? And right now, I don't. I'm looking into maybe the possibility of purchasing this land, but I'm not too optimistic either way on whether or not that's going to pan out. We good? Had some little lag spikes there. But like assuming we can get, I don't know if homesteading would be a good way of putting it, but I think that both Amelia and I would be totally into the idea of creating a victory garden, they used to call them, like a subsistence garden, where we get a lot of our green vegetables and grow a lot of our spices and peppers or whatever the fuck. Maybe even getting a little coop of chickens for eggs and stuff like that. Like, I think that's, on our list of things that we would like to do if I can, purchase a piece of land. The problem right now is that I don't own that. So even though I love this little plot of land that I'm on, I don't own it, so I can't really do any improvements on it. Right. I mean, I live in an area where we could very easily grow peppers, tomatoes, fucking cucumbers, zucchini, fucking cabbage. We could grow anything that we wanted here. Corn. And there's enough space to build a studio, right? So it's a place like this that I have to find. So whether it is this place or another place like this, I have to find a place like this. Goats, yeah, probably at least a goat. Let him roam around the backyard and munch. About hunting meat. Actually, Amelia and I have been on a kick where we're reducing our meat intake significantly. So we've been replacing in a lot of the recipes that mostly she makes, like ground beef or chicken or whatever the fuck, with these kind of like meat substitutes, the Impossible meat. We'll get like a half pound of that and throw that in the chili instead of doing hamburger meat or steak or whatever the fuck, right? So we've been doing that for a long time, like a couple months. Well, not a long time, a couple months now, and it's been working well. So we're going to continue to do that, like reduce the amount of meat that we consume significantly. Yeah, I'd like to let this out here for the most part grow wild. I'll tell you what, like it would be like waist high right now if I hadn't had somebody come out and mow it back. But if I had a goat out here or two, you know what I mean, it wouldn't. They'd take care of that shit and then some. I don't think I have the constitution to be a hunter, dude. I honestly, like, even if it was for my own subsistence and even if I knew I was doing it legally and in a way that was helping the deer population, I honestly don't think that I could look down the scope of a weapon at that beautiful animal and pull the trigger. I just don't think I could do it. Like, I don't have the constitution for that. Like, you know what I mean? I understand that that's where my meat comes from and shit, and I understand the inherent hypocrisy in that, but there's a difference between fucking doing it yourself and I just had a fucking flashback to a weird initiation ritual that I went to in my life that fucking scared the shit out of me. I've told you guys I was in 4-H. And once I had gone through, I'd done 2 pigs. And once I had done that, there was like this weird initiation ritual that I had to go through in order to go to the next level of 4-H. And it was like the ritualistic slaying of a pig. No joke. I had to watch as they chose a pig. I had to stand right there and help them hold it while they lined it up to shoot it. I had to help them drag its corpse out of the pen and help them string it up. Then I had to watch them shave all of the hair off of the pig. And then I had to watch them disembowel the pig. When I left that with my dad, I busted into tears and I told him I don't want to do this shit anymore. And they never made me go back. You just joined, you just got banned. Nobody needs to know that your fucking ass just got here. Thank you. You just showed up to get fucking banned. 4-H is like it's like FFA, if you know what that is in America, Future Farmers of America. It's like they get kids involved in farming, basically. And especially popular in areas like I grew up in that have a lot of farming, right? They didn't make me kill it. They made me watch the processing of a pig. They didn't make me kill it. They made me watch as they killed it, help drag it, help string it up, and then watch as they shaved all of the hair off of the pig's body and gutted it. And then that at that point it's prepared to be butchered and go to market. I didn't even know what I was going to. I didn't even know what I was going to that day. I thought I was going to a 4-H meeting, and it was me and like 3 other little boys there with their dads. And it was literally the fucking ritualistic killing of an animal in front of us. Presumably to soften us up to the idea of doing that ourselves if we chose to go along with the FFA or 4-H track. And after I left that fucking place, I sucked it up. And then after I left that fucking place, we got in the car, we got a half mile down the road, and I started bawling and told my dad I didn't want to do this anymore. And I remember he argued with me a little about it, but I told my mom the same shit, and I was never made to go to one of those things again. I told him I didn't want to do 4-H anymore either. And that was when I dropped out of 4-H and stopped doing that shit. I have nothing but sisters. I'm the only boy in my family. I'm the eldest, though. So there's that, too. You okay with fishing? Yeah. It's okay to eat fish 'cause they don't have any feeling. No, I'm fine with fishing. It's not something I do all that often, but something in the way. Yeah. Are you okay with killing insects? I mean, yeah. Like, what are you talking about, dude? Are you trying to test the limits of my morality when it comes to animal slaying? like, like I don't go out and mass murder insects or whatever. In fact, you guys have seen me sit here play with little fucking ladybug larvae and little spiders that I find and frogs and shit. I'm not I coup de grace a frog out here the other day because I didn't want to let it suffer. Some stray cat had brought it up here and left it half dead on the fucking porch, and I killed it because it was just laying there dying. So, I'm not above, like, I'm not a dude that can't take that action. Like, I've mercy killed animals before. And it sucks, but, it's contextual. I've never killed an animal for food. Yeah, June bugs here, for sure. Feel kind of bad when I kill wasps. That's why I like not killing spiders, because they do the dirty work and they use the actual remains. Yeah, I mean, there are times where you have to take action against an animal like that, right? If you get a bee's nest. Now, there are ethical ways. Like, if you get bees in your house, you can find an ethical bee removal service that will take that brood and box it. So they don't just like pump your wall full of poison or some shit. They cut open your wall, They take all of the existent honeycomb out and box it. And then they vacuum up all of the bees and make sure that they seclude the queen. And they take all of that stuff back to an apiary and put it in a box and put the queen in. Well, see, that's the thing, though. You discover you've got bees in your wall and you call a removal service. What's the difference to you whether they remove it ethically or not? You know what I mean? They're still going to die, or they're still going to be gone from your house. Oh, yeah, dude. I don't know what kind of spiders those are, but yeah, we have wolf spiders here. They're not huge. Usually they're a smaller type of spider. But yeah, I love spiders. We have jumping spiders here. I love those. I love most spiders. Can't really abide like a fiddleback or a black widow. It's just because I know how dangerous those creatures are. Can be outright deadly, you know. So I don't really nurse the idea of those staying around my house, but how many tarantulas do you see? None. Tarantulas are not native to North America in the wild. Tarantulas are a South American species. Fishing spiders look spooky, yeah. They look spooky, for sure. Found one chilling in my life jacket while I was camping. Damn. Kind of acrophobic, so I can't... Arachnophobic, so you can't live anywhere near a spider. That's fine. You know, it is what it is. Orb weavers, yeah. Maybe if Texas has tarantulas, then I never saw one when I lived there. Yeah, never saw a Texas tarantula. Never bumped into one. Maybe they're not native to the area I lived in or whatever. Yeah. I was on Skype with an old friend of mine that lives in Australia, and she had a giant fucking orb weaver in her room that she didn't see until she was like, she laid back on her bed. She took her phone over and like laid back on her bed. She's getting ready for bed, and the way that the phone angle was, I could see like on the wall above her head a spider that was no shit, like probably about as big as my fist, maybe a little less. It wasn't. She thought at first it was a huntsman, right? So I went, holy shit, and said her name. I was like, you need to fucking like look above you. Did you see that shit? She looked up there and screamed. And she screamed, huntsman, you know, blah, 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 blah. And she was living with a couple of other, like, roommates at the time. And so she ran out of the room, and I'm watching this fucking thing just sit there on the wall. And I was like, oh, my fucking God, bro. And then she had, like, one of the dudes she was roommates with come in and look at it. And he was like, that's not a fucking huntsman. He's like, I've never seen one of those before. That's not a fucking huntsman. She's like, that's not a fucking huntsman. That is not a fucking huntsman. And they went and looked it up. It was an orb weaver. They're so rare and so deadly, but so rare, they usually are not spiders that will come inside. So she had a giant orb weaver spider in her room at night when she was about to go to fucking sleep. They devised a pole. They went and got like brooms and lashed them together and put a shoe at the end of it and went in there and used it like a battering ram to knock the fucking thing off the wall and kill it. I had to watch the whole fucking thing. I was like, they didn't kill it with the first strike. They missed a little bit and it fell off the wall. And I was like, oh no. Oh no, it's like the fucking... It's like the fucking face hugger and Alien loose in the room. You know, you're like, oh, get it, get it. They were like, fuck, fuck, fuck. Ah. We pissed it off. Get out. I'm sitting here watching on stream like, is it going to kill them all? What the fuck do I do? Do I call 911? 911, what's your emergency? My friend in Australia is about to be killed by a spider. Dun 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 bam 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 dun 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 bam 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 dude, that's the best boss music. I don't even want to fucking talk about it. Best boss music ever made right there. Final Fantasy VII's boss music, never been beaten. Dude, hype. Makes you want to pull out your Buster Sword right now, doesn't it? Dude, make sure that she toggles the option to use the original Final Fantasy VII soundtrack on. I played through that Final Fantasy VII remake on my PS3 or 4, and yeah, the PS4, sorry. And there's a fucking toggle thing to turn on the original Final Fantasy soundtrack. I'm pretty sure she should fucking do that. Dun 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 Sephiroth bum 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 Sephiroth bum 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 bum. One-Winged Angel, by the way, is the name of that song. And it's badass when performed by a giant fucking orchestra. You can actually find on YouTube, there's footage of a giant professional, I think Tokyo International Orchestra, playing the fucking soundtrack to Final Fantasy. Dude, it's badass. It'll blow your fucking head off, dude. You gotta go listen to it. It's so dope. You can look it up. It's called One-Winged Angel. Just search for like One-Winged Angel live orchestra or whatever the fuck. Mario Galaxy has the best music. No. All right, kiddo. Whatever you say. Ted Woolsey, the original Final Fantasy head translator, would make a good DFF subject guy. Basically, single-handedly made JRPGs palatable to Westerners. Yes, he did. He did a lot of the Super Nintendo translations. Did he not? Like he did the very funny and very well done translation of fuck Chrono Trigger. Am I wrong about that? I know a little bit about Woolsey. He would make a fucking. You know what? I'm gonna put that one in my hip pocket. I think that's actually a pretty fucking good idea. Really interesting dude. Yeah. Kind of like set the template for taking Japanese humor and Japanese tropes and translating them into an understandable kind of Americanized, westernized version that played really well and captured the original spirit. Kefka. Whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah, it's a good suggestion. I'm gonna put that in my hip pocket. That'd be a fun one to do. All your base are belong to us. Someone set us up the bomb. To my knowledge and in my opinion, Chrono Trigger is the crown jewel in Woolsey's fucking crown. Like that translation is so humanizing and so great and so funny at parts, and it takes such complex kind of Japanese societal tropes and recontextualizes them in an American way so fucking well. It's just a beautiful piece of work. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines soundtrack is really good. I don't know if I've ever heard the unused tracks, so I'll check those out. But Chrono Cross, I'm gonna be fucking straight up with you, Johnny. Chrono Cross was not a letdown for me. I played the fuck out of that game. I loved that game when I first got it. You can fucking like for me, I wasn't really expecting Chrono Trigger. Like I knew it was in the same fucking universe, but I loved the magic system in Chrono Cross. I loved how many characters there were to collect in Chrono Cross. It felt like a Pokemon game almost, trying to recruit all these weird characters. I loved the synergy system in Chrono Cross, where it's like different combinations of people could make different ultimate attacks, or there was even try attacks that you could do. That kind of harkened back to another one of my favorite old RPG series, the Phantasy Star series. That idea that your party members eventually get to the point where they can pull off these double attacks and shit. Dude, I'm telling you, man, Chrono Cross is actually a pretty fucking dope game. It's a long ass game, and it's definitely got like a comedic tone, that a more comedic, but oh man, not that much. It's definitely a dark game. It's got some of the coolest music. I love the fucking map music, in the world map music, the various ones that they use in Chrono Cross. My favorite game soundtrack is the original, the OST for Deus Ex. It's got some of the coldest fucking like future fuzz kind of techno shit that you'll ever fucking hear. It's so great. Can't recommend it highly enough. Like you want to chill the fuck out and listen to something that's just so cool and fucking perfect. Like throw on the UNATCO theme. Like go search it and throw on the UNATCO theme from Deus Ex. Ow. God damn it. That hurted. Man, it's going to be a hot one today, I can tell. I'm not going to be able to carry this on for much longer because I'm going to be schwitzing here in a minute already. Schwitz. Oh, there's a little cool breeze, though. Come over here, breeze, please. Oh, yes. Come on, breeze. You can do it, breeze. The Sonic CD soundtrack is fucking dope. Take Us Inside. You guys are just gonna start getting more like desktop streams and shit, which I know will make some of you guys happy. But these summer streams on the outside are gonna be like reserved for really early morning, if at all, because it's not even gonna cool down much here. or I'll just start doing desktop stuff. It's more versatile. I can watch things and shit. So, hey man, I just finished Outer Worlds. I think you recommended it. What other games do you like that are similar? I mean, the team that made Outer Worlds made Fallout New Vegas, or a lot of the same people. So if you haven't ever played through Fallout New Vegas, it's one of the most infinitely moddable games ever. So I'd recommend you get Fallout New Vegas and then follow a modding guide or something to clean it all up, make it more of a modern game and shit, do some bug fixes and add some content, and then go ham on that if you've never played it. If you have played that game, I mean, the Fallout kind of like open world RPG style, or it's kind of dominated by Fallout, but there's a lot of like other little games you could look into, I guess. Borderlands is good for a pale imitation of Fallout. Kind of. I mean, Borderlands is not really trying to be Fallout, though, to be frank with you. Borderlands is a looter shooter, right? So it's more in the kin of, one of the games I'm playing now, Outriders, right? It's a looter shooter. It's not trying to be Fallout. Fallout is like a character-driven, character choice-driven, open-world RPG. And Borderlands is just a looter shooter with a story kind of slapped over it. Borderlands is boring. It gets boring. I usually start out pretty hyped up for Borderlands games. Like, I've played all of them. I own Borderlands 3. I got it on sale on one of the Christmas sales or whatever. And I played like probably 20, 30 hours of it. And ends up getting boring for me because the gameplay loop is not all that satisfying. It's like, find slightly more powerful weapon, equip it. That's pretty much what you get out of a play session with Borderlands. And some people really like that. It gets boring pretty easily to me. I didn't play the Borderlands Telltale game, no. I played most of the other stuff, or at least the earlier stuff from Telltale, though. I like them. Played The Wolf Among Us and Walking Dead. You guys hang out. I'm gonna have to go get some water. Be right back. I'll let you in too, D. Starting to get a little too warm out here, buddy boy. Yeah, it's a little warm. Okay, go inside. Let's come in. Paul is getting dehydrated. No, I don't allow myself to get dehydrated because I hate how that feels. Say what you want about my diet. I clearly don't eat as well as I should, but I drink more than enough water. I am constantly, like, everywhere I go, I have a big giant cup of water like this, and I sip it all fucking day. I drink like 2 or 3 of these at least a day. Well, maybe even a little more because these are like my mid-sized cups. You just got a notification for last night's Highdeology. Thanks, YouTube. Thanks a lot, YouTube. You know what? I would beat you with my Mitsurugi and Soul Calibur 2. No, you wouldn't. Sorry, no, you wouldn't. Your Mitsurugi would fall to my fucking Voldo, and that would be that. And you'd be salty as fuck too. I would air hump you to death. Like, I would juggle you, get on all my fucking hands and blades and knees and shit, and crawl and fucking air hump you off the stage, and you'd be like, God damn it, Paul, that's fucking cheap. Why don't you fight me straight up? It'd be all the goddamn fucking excuses. Dude, trust me, dude. I eat Mitsurugis for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They just don't have it, dude. They think they have it, but they don't have it. Like, I can't vouch for fucking, like, the later games in the series and shit. You might be able to whoop my ass, but anything up through Soul Calibur 3, you got no chance. You got no chance, bro. No chance. That's what you got. No, I'm just kidding. You probably would whip my ass. I haven't played that game in forever, so got a feeling my Voldo's a little rusty. If you're a current fucking Mitsurugi player, you'd probably fucking wipe the floor with me, for sure. Pull back, forward stab all day. Man, that's a fucking unsafe move, bro. If you were insanely good, would you become a professional gamer? Absolutely. Why not? Yoshimitsu, you were thinking Yoshimitsu because Yoshimitsu is probably the other weird character in the Soul Calibur series. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Yoshimitsu is kind of like a meme character. Voldo's less of a meme character, but definitely high on the weird scale. And Yoshimitsu's a little both. Good Yoshimitsus can wipe the fucking floor, though. Make no bones about it. Like, people that dedicate themselves to learning Yoshimitsu are nigh on unbeatable. He's just a very strange situational character. You gotta know him inside and out. You can't just, like, pick up Yoshimitsu and know a couple moves and play him. Yeah, Yoshimitsu is a Tekken cross character. Well, Dan never really rose to the fucking level of an actual playable character until the current iteration of Street Fighter. I understand that Dan's iteration in this current version of Street Fighter 5 he's like almost an OP character. He's got too much corner pressure. Like, he's got just like ridiculously oppressive rush down and corner pressure. Dan wasn't out in Street Fighter 5 a couple years ago, bro. Dan just got released like a year ago or less. Dan's relatively new. He came out in the newest pack of characters. You might be thinking about Street Fighter 4. There were a couple of people that would like tournament with Dan, and they were good. I mean, you know, you can any character, if you play it better than the other guys playing, you're gonna win. Yeah, Street Fighter 4 is probably what you were thinking about. Yeah, there were some, but nobody ever won a fucking tournament of note with Dan. That may change now, now that Dan's out in Street Fighter 5. Oh, trust me, dude. It's just one of the things that I actually follow. I've followed the FGC since its inception. It's just like a private little hobby of mine. I don't really play these games, but I love watching people play fighting games at the high level. Like I've been pretty into watching Guilty Gear Strive or whatever it's called, the latest Guilty Gear release. Even though I've never played a Guilty Gear game, I love watching Potemkin players. What are you guys fighting about today? Yeah, I don't watch Overwatch. I do watch like some competitive Apex, and I watch League of Legends and Heroes, like tournaments and stuff. Heroes of the Storm, Dota. Like I like watching MOBA tournaments as well. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end this. Get my